Friend.
Hi.
Tyler, tell us what we're doing today. I don't even think I need to be here. You get us going.
I don't know what we're doing.
You don't know what we're doing. Hi, I'm Erin, and this is
Tyler.
And we are doing kids cooking lessons here with school being canceled. This is an opportunity for me to teach your kiddos how to cook, and for me to also teach my kiddos how to cook. So we're kind of killing a couple birds with one stone here. We are at home. We are eating all the time at home. But fun fact, I have actually not cooked anything yet today. And I'll probably do dinner in a little bit. But who cooked lunch? Do you remember? Ryan cooked lunch. They all made their own breakfast. So this whole kids learning how to cook is really working out for me, and I'm just over here working myself out of the job. So if you're cooking alongside of us, what we are making today is a sausage quiche. A quiche for my kiddos who are watching and cooking along. A quiche, do you know what a quiche is?
No.
You've had it before, you probably just don't remember. It's like an egg pie. And there's quiche and there's frittatas, and both of them are kind of an egg bake or an egg pie that you bake in a pie plate or a quiche dish. But fun fact, do we have one of those here? No, my pie plates and my quiche dishes are still at my other house. This is a rental house that we're in here, and I didn't move them over. So we're going to do ours in a square cake pan, because that's the only small, deep dish that I have, and it's going to be a little funky with the circular pie crust into the square pan, but we will make it work. We will do our best to fit it in there. So we're going to do that today. What we're going to learn how to brown sausage. We're going to learn how to mix up the filling. We're going to learn how to layer and assemble this quiche, and we're going to learn how to bake it. So before we jump in, kids, parents first. Parents, supervise your kiddos. In today's lesson, we are working with raw meat in a hot skillet in a hot oven. Kids, this is your opportunity to learn how to do this and to learn valuable life skills in the kitchen. So your parents need to be kind of watching and supervising you, and they might need to step in, but if they step in and you think you can do it, what do?
Say leave.
Tell me to get out of here. Politely and respectfully, tell whoever is with you to let you do it. Make a mess. We made a ginormous sticky mess over here yesterday when we were making the granola, didn't we? So that's okay. We quickly cleaned it up, and that is just part of learning how to cook. And parents, part of it is getting out of your kids' way and letting them do the work and make the mess. And right now, I think kind of make the memory. We're trying to make the most of this time that we have here at home. So you ready to get started, sir?
Yes.
Have you ever made a quiche before? You don't even remember eating one, so you've definitely probably not made one. So we're going to the first thing we need to do is preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Tell me who's here. Who's here cooking with us today? I got my Tyler, but I want you to tell me in the comments who's learning. If you're learning, let me know that you're learning. If your kiddos are learning, I want to hear that too. Bake. 350. Start. All right, preheat the oven. No, we don't need to do cooking time because that'll turn the oven off at the end of the cooking time. We're not going to do that. So, good question. The next thing we're going to do is prepare our pan. So again, I have this square pan because my pie plates are at my other house. This is our rental house because our house flooded, and we're staying here while it's being
moving back soon.
Redone. Hopefully moving back soon. So we're going to spray this, and we're going to hope that our camera behaves today. Sometimes this camera gets a little, that's okay, just spray it. Now, when you're spraying, we learned, Tyler, yesterday, what do we do?
Hold it from
Hold it back a little bit and move it as you spray. Is that covered? You might want to cover the sides of the dish as well. So can you spray the sides a little bit too? Because that pie crust is going to go up the side of our dish.
I think we're running out.
We're not running out. It kind of looks like cooking spray graffiti from this angle. I'm looking at my computer over here. I'm not looking at what he's doing. Okay, so this is very well greased. Good job, sir. If it's a little overly greased, you could get like a towel or a napkin and just sort of spread it around, but I think this looks fine. We have a little too much right here on this side. I'm just going to kind of Make sure we coat that really well. Okay. All right. The next thing that we're going to do, in the recipe that I put on the video, I did not include, it has a homemade gluten-free pie crust. But for the sake of simplicity and for the sake of time here on this lesson, we're just going to use a store-bought crust. This is actually a crust that I have had in the freezer because it was on special around the holidays. So I grabbed a whole big pack of them at the holidays. So this has been, I have let it sit, so it's already thawed out. It's a little bit sticky right here. So Tyler, help me figure out, this is a good math and geometry problem. Help me figure out how we can take this pie crust that's circular, hey Virginia, and put it into this square pan. You guys, I'm sorry, this is my only option. Please use a pie plate, a 9-inch circular pie plate, or a quiche. A quiche plate is 9 inches, but it's deeper. It doesn't have the angled edges that a pie plate has.
These first.
Yeah, but we need to kind of set it down towards the middle there. And we might need to do a little bit of pressing along the edges. So go ahead and take your pie crust and lay it into your pie plate, center it, and then if you want to give it a little bit of flair, you can do that, where you would kind of, I'll show you with this one as best I can, where you would pinch the edges to give it a little bit of shape, if you will. Okay, so our oven's preheating to 350, we've greased our dish, and we're kind of, Tyler's pressing up along the side here. I know, with our strangely shaped circular. Okay, let me move this out of the way.
I think that should be.
I think that's okay. We do need to, we have a little tiny tear, just so I can show you guys. If that happens, there's a little bit of a tear right here. So what I'm gonna do is just do my best. I'm gonna just do a little pie crust surgery and repair that, because we don't want any of the egg mixture to leak out underneath of the crust, okay? Which might happen over here in this corner because of the square circular situation we have happening here.
This is like an air bubble.
That's okay if there's an air bubble. We just need to stretch. I'm just, because of my strange shaped situation here, I'm just gonna kind of press this up a little bit, see if I can get this up the side. Okay, let's call that ready.
The corners are the hardest.
I know, and especially on that rolled edge. So let's move this over here, and now that is ready to go. So our pie crust is ready to go, and to be loaded, I should say. Our oven is preheating, and the next thing we're gonna do is brown the sausage, okay? I'm gonna open this. This is just a mild Italian sausage. I'm gonna open this just because Tyler has not graduated to raw meat phase, if you will. So moms, dads, this would be an opportunity to jump in and help your kiddos. This is raw meat, but I know he can brown this. So let me get this out of your way, and then we'll start browning it. Do you remember the tool that we use for browning? That little white thing that's...
No idea, but is this it?
Yep, yeah, see, I knew you knew. All right, he's getting out the chopster. Show them the chopster up under this camera. The chopster is really great for browning ground beef, ground sausage, ground chicken, ground turkey. So before we turn the heat on, why don't you break this up a little bit? This ground sausage doesn't break up quite as easily as ground beef, but, okay, so what you're gonna do, let me help you. You're gonna just kind of press and twist. Just trying to break it up. So that when it goes to brown, it'll brown evenly and quickly. Let me do a little twisty-roo here. You see that better? Okay. All right, now that we've broken that up, let's turn the heat on to medium, medium-high, maybe a level 6 or 7. Friends, also note that our handle for our skillet is over here, which is out of the way, so nobody will accidentally knock it down as they walk by. We don't want that to happen. We want everybody to be safe in the kitchen. All right, let's turn the heat on, Buster.
Okay.
We will keep using that. And I like to leave this right in the dish. Did you get it? All right, we are preheated. Our dish is ready, and we are going to brown this.
How much is it supposed to be on?
It'll take a minute to start browning.
I'll put it on 8.
Okay. No, I want you to leave it in the dish so we don't get this meat all over the counter. Just like that. Yippers. Okay, while we're waiting for that to brown, we are going to mix up the eggs. So what we need to do is mix up the eggs and the milk and some melted butter. Okay? So we're going to do that while we are waiting. What do you remember about cracking eggs?
Count on the counter.
You do it on a flat surface right here. That's right. So here, I'm going to wipe the counter before we keep going. The eggs are right here.
Oh.
Let me do a quick wipery, please.
Wipery.
Hang on, hang on. Let's do that and melt the butter while we're waiting for the
we only have
this
3.
to brown. I know, I already
How
pulled
many
3
do
out.
we
Okay,
need?
we need 3. So we're gonna do 3 eggs. Depending on your dish, you might need 4. If you have a deeper quiche plate, 4 eggs might be okay on the flat part right here. Okay. Now pick it open like this. Carefully. Awesome. Okay, do that for the next 2. So 3 eggs works really well for a traditional like pie plate that's a little bit shallower. If you're using a quiche dish that has a deeper, it's just deeper. It doesn't have the angled edge.
Oh.
That's okay. Any shells get in there?
I do not believe so.
That's
How
good.
much is that supposed to be?
It's okay. All right, let's finish that last egg and then we'll check on the beef, the sausage. That's good. Okay, can you wash your hands real quick? If you need to wash your hands, go ahead and do that. All right, you want to give this beef another turn here?
Smash it.
Yep. If you're just joining us, Tyler and I are having a cooking lesson with you. We are making a sausage quiche. We have the oven preheated. We have our pie plate already prepared. In my case, it's a square pan because my pie plates are at my other house. This is our rental house. Our other house is under renovation. So we are browning the sausage. This is just a mild Italian breakfast sausage. You could use cooked and crumbled bacon if you wanted to, but I like the savory and saltiness of the sausage in my quiche. We're also going to add into this quiche cheese and hash browns, which is what you see sitting right here. So let's break that up a little more. Good job. You guys hit up Tyler with some love if you think he's doing a good job. My little dudes are turning into these professional chefs. I love it. I want the exact same thing for your kiddos and for you. I want you guys to know how to work your way around the kitchen. And I think a quiche or a frittata is an excellent option for breakfast for dinner on a weeknight or for a kind of brunch or lazy breakfast. I don't know that I've ever made a quiche on a weekday morning. They're just too hectic. So this is more of a weekend or breakfast for dinner type of dish. This is what we're having for dinner tonight. Let me tell you quick the difference between a frittata and a quiche. They're almost the same thing minus one important ingredient, and that would be the crust. So a quiche is more like a pie that has a crust and a filling that you bake together. A frittata is the same filling poured into a dish. You just don't have a crust. So quiches are very easy to turn into a frittata if you're gluten-free, let's say, and you don't want to fuss with the gluten-free crust. You could just make a frittata. All right. I'm just kind of cleaning that off. All right, this is about done. We're going to switch to a metal pan. I'm sorry, metal spoon. It's not quite ready. See how there's some red pieces? We need to keep browning this until all of those red parts of the meat are cooked through and they're gone. Okay? I do like the chop stir, but sometimes sausage has a tendency to stick a little more than ground beef or ground chicken or ground turkey. So sorry about the scraping, but I find the metal spoon to work really well on a
That's almost done.
Italian sausage. It is almost ready, you're right. So, moms, dads, again, this is raw meat. Help your kiddos if you need to. We'll also let them do that. Will you toss that around for a minute? And then we're going to turn off the heat and go back to our eggs. Yeah, break up those big pieces. Sometimes those big pieces don't really get all the way browned like you want them to, so you might have to break them up into smaller pieces to make sure they get cooked all the way through. Is that looking good? Is that okay? You tell me, Buster, when that's done, when you see no more red parts, then you can turn off the heat. Does it look pretty good?
Oh, let's take a picture of my video.
All right.
I think that's
Let's
done.
turn off the heat then. And let's leave our spoon right here because we're going to need it in a minute. Okay. Back to the eggs. So we cracked 3 eggs. And you know what, buddy? I think we should do one more egg because we're using this deeper dish. Let's do one more egg. Again, if you're using a pie plate, 3 eggs should be enough. If you're not and you're using a deeper dish, go ahead and add a 4th egg. We're going to do 4. And then the next thing we're going to do is measure in the milk. And we are going to add 1.25 cups of milk.
I'll look for if there's any shells.
I'll get the shell. I'll show you.
I see
I see one shell. I'll show you the shell trick.
I see it.
Did you drop them all in?
The fork.
How many is that one? Is that 4?
Yeah.
Okay, I
I
do
see
see one
one.
shell. There's a tiny, tiny shell in here.
Get a spoon.
So actually a fork works really well. If you can, let me show you guys how to do this. If an egg shell falls in, use the corner prong, the edge prong. Okay. And then you want to, well, if you find it first. Where'd it go? We do not want any eggshells in our quiche. Where did it go? Do you see it?
No. Well, maybe mess around and it'll float to the top.
No, it'll always float to the bottom.
It's too yolky.
It got real yolky, huh? You see it? Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Okay, I just kind of whisked it up. So then what you want to do is press the fork prong onto the shell. I can't see it again.
I'll make it so that you can see it.
You guys, I'm sorry. We got to get this shell out. And then you press your fork on it and you kind of drag it up the top. That's what you do. I just don't know where it went.
I think it's always right there.
No, but I can't. Okay, new trick since we can't see it. We're gonna use a spatula. Bear with us, guys. You can. This is be a good time to.
Get the spatula.
I'm trying to.
Well, maybe it moved.
Was it right there?
I feel like it was. Yeah.
We might have to make another batch real quick because everybody's waiting for us to find this shell, and I can't see it. All right, another batch. It's okay. We'll do that after the fact. So we're going to start over with mixing up our
I got fancy eggs here.
eggs. We'll make those into scrambled eggs later.
Yeah,
And I'm going to help you for the sake of time, okay?
Whoa. Oh, that one easily.
Good.
Oh, why do we use this for? We can crystal clearly see them.
It's pretty, huh? Pretty cool. All right, after that, we need to measure.
Whoa.
It's okay.
No.
All right, 1 1/4 cups of milk. Thanks for bearing with us, friends. Your little egg fiasco there. You never know what's going to happen on a live video. All right, I need 1 1/4 cups of this. Do you see the 1/4 cup mark on here? So we need 1 cup plus 1/4. It's right here. 1 cup plus 1/4. So look on your measuring cup. A lot of times measuring cups you can also see on the side. You can just look to the point where it is. Can you do it?
Yeah.
That's a full jug of milk. You're doing great. A little bit more. See it right here. This line right here where it says 1/4.
Oh, wait, the
one more red line up. Yep.
The one? Or?
Nope, that's 1 cup. Now add 1/4. Add it up to 1/4 right there. Good,
Oh,
perfect. Okay, now
too much.
pour that in. We're gonna whisk that up in a minute. Okay.
It's like pancake.
One of the ingredients that is in this recipe that we are not going to include is chopped onion. And because we have an onion, a distaste for onions, we're going to leave them out. You could add in a little minced onion. You could also add in a little onion powder. Shh, don't tell your brother. Hee hee. I just think onion is very important in a quiche. So we're just going to add a little bit of that. Another ingredient that is included on this recipe is ground mustard, which is a dry spice, but we don't have any of that. So I'm going to add a tiny squirt of brown mustard. And this is an optional ingredient. I just think it pulls all the flavors together with the ground Italian sausage and the eggs. So give that a mix, please. Very carefully, because this is not a very deep bowl. We just need to whisk this together to get those egg yolks to break up and mix in with the milk. You might need to kind of stab the egg yolk, Tyler. So take the top of the whisk and just break it up and then whisk it gently again. There you go. There they broke. Perfect. So we want to whisk that together. Easy now. You see how high that got? All right, so our eggs are ready. Our hash browns are here. We also have some shredded cheese. So the next thing that we need to do is assemble our quiche. So I'm going to move this back over here.
It's turning mustard color.
Yep, it's getting to be that mustardy yellow. I want you to take a good pinch from here and a pinch from here and just add in a little salt and pepper and then whisk that in and we'll be ready to assemble. Oh, you know what? We forgot the butter.
Yeah, I was wondering where it was.
We were supposed to add some melted butter and I totally forgot.
You never got it out.
We need 4 tablespoons of melted butter. Well, it's sitting right over here, but I got a little distracted by the, right here, by the eggs, the eggshell there. All right, friends, if you're just joining us, this is Kids Learning How to Cook, and Tyler is making a quiche, a sausage quiche, and I need to melt some butter real quick for him to stir in with the eggs there. We are going to layer this. So the first layer is cheese. The second layer is the hash browns. Then the sausage. And then a little bit more cheese will go on the top. Okay? And then we'll pour the egg around. I'm gonna pour this in on the side of the dish so that it doesn't splash. Can you whisk, 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 whisk? Very good.
That's like butter.
Oh, so good. Doesn't it smell good?
Grease is better than popcorn. It's like a tornado.
All right, do you remember the layers? I'm going to put this over here so you don't knock it down.
I don't.
Okay. Did you add the salt and pepper?
Yes.
Okay.
You can see them
Yes, very good. All right. First is cheese. So could you get a little bit of cheese and put a single layer of cheese right here?
Cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese. Cheddar. Cheddar, cheddar, cheddar. Cheddar cheese. All right, it is time to layer our quiche. If you're doing this as a frittata, you would just mix it up without the crust. So you could start with cheese and then your hash browns and then your sausage. Your eggs will go in and then cheese goes on the top last.
Is that good? Mom, is this good?
Looks good to me, dude. All right, next is this. Hash browns, so those need to go on top of the cheese. So just sprinkle the hash browns on top of the cheese.
Ooh, cold.
They were in the freezer, so these are cold still. That's okay. I set them out a little bit before the lesson, just so they would warm up a little bit. That whole bowl can go in there. Make another layer. Yep. If you do that, you'll have to. Yeah, you're better off sprinkling. There you go. Our quiche is coming together.
Oh, it's cold.
If you wanted to do little broccoli florets, you could do some small pieces of broccoli. You could do bell peppers, some chopped bell peppers. You could also do, we like to do frittatas or quiches with a sweet potato. If you do cubed sweet potatoes and steam them for a couple minutes to kind of pre-cook them before you put them. Nicely done. All right, next layer is going to be the sausage. So use our spoon, and you can just spoon it right into the dish. I'll move it closer for you. Okay, spoon this right in here. Oh, there it goes. All right, hang on. It actually went a really long ways before it started doing that thing. I'm sorry. So Tyler is assembling
this meat.
The meat into the
sausage.
The browned Italian sausage. He is assembling that into the
It smells so good.
quiche dish. And then we're going to do eggs next, and then a little bit of cheese on top at the end. And we are going to bake this for 45 minutes at 350. We've already preheated our oven. It was the first thing we did.
Oh, so this might be our dinner.
All right. That's my plan. Should we have this for dinner?
Yeah.
Doesn't it look amazing? Then I don't have to
cook again. Do we have any more sausage?
This is all the sausage we have.
Darn it.
All right, you are doing an excellent job. He's almost done here. Can you see these little gaps right here? Can you fill those in a little bit? Perfection.
Now's the sprinkling time.
That works. My intent little chef.
Chef.
Okay. Who also needs a haircut. Raise your hand if your kids need a haircut too. I'm afraid to cut their hair. Afraid.
I'll lose my blonde.
You probably would. Although maybe not, because it's kind of gotten warm and sunny again. This one gets really blonde in the summer because of the sun highlights.
It gets like white.
It's like white blonde. And then he kind of gets darker in the winter. But I could probably trim up around your ears. Do you think I should do that? No? Okay.
Because we're not in school.
Because we're not in school. I know. Okay. Next is the eggs.
Eggs.
So can you pour those in there?
Do you have like a big spoon?
I don't. You just pour it right in.
Whoa.
Spread them around.
That's so weird.
If you have some sausage that's sticking up,
I know what would work.
that is okay. Yep, you can, not too far because look, we have the edges. Be careful. Remember, we don't want the egg to get underneath. Our strange thing. If there's any sausage, let me see if our other camera will work.
Yes.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
Make.
If there's any sausage sticking up out of the top, that is okay. The eggs are going to grow taller as they bake, and they will kind of take over some of that. But we also want to put some more cheese on top. So Tyler, why don't you do that right here so everybody can see you doing that. We just want to get another nice layer of cheese right onto the top of this quiche. Try and keep it in the dish and not on the counter. There you go. He's being real generous with this cheese. Look at his face. He's like, maybe one more handful.
I love cheese.
Yeah, I know. It's so yummy.
And nachos.
Okay. Let's see. There's a little tiny section right here that maybe could use a little. See, now you see why I'm calling it an egg pie. It's kind of like an egg pie, huh? All right. So the next thing that we need to do, the last thing we need to do is bake this. We've layered this into the dish. So our oven is preheated. Do you want to put that in while I give everybody the recap?
Yes.
Okay. What we have made here is a sausage and hash brown quiche. The recipe that I have on the video here is for a gluten-free homemade crust, but you can easily make this with the store-bought crust, which is what we just did because it's what we have. Do you remember the very first thing we did?
We smashed up the sausage.
The sausage? Okay. Before that, we preheated the oven to 350, greased our pie plate or quiche plate. In our case, we used a square pan because that's all we have here at our rental house. We then greased it. We added the pie crust to the dish, and then we browned the Italian sausage. That's what you're talking about. And then we mixed up the egg mixture. We actually had to do that twice because we couldn't see the eggshell that got left behind. So we mixed that up with 4 eggs, a 1 1/4 cup of milk, a splash of spicy brown mustard. You could also use ground mustard if you have that in your pantry. Then we also added a pinch of salt and pepper and a little tiny bit of minced onion. Don't tell Ryan. No, you won't even know what's in there. Then we mixed that up. Then we started to layer our quiche together. We started with a layer of shredded cheddar cheese, then a layer of shredded hash browns. You could use fresh or frozen. Then we did the layer of the sausage that we made. We poured the egg mixture in, put the more shredded cheese on top, and we are going to bake that at 350 for 45 minutes. So as we're finishing up here, would you please start the timer for 45 minutes? So kitchen timer, 45, start.
No.
And that brings us to the end of, start, yep. That brings us to the end of week 3 of our kids' cooking lessons. If you haven't heard, we've done 2 weeks, a couple weeks ago. And then we took last week off to kind of get our bearings with schoolwork. And then we've been doing these in the afternoon this week. And we're going to take another week off next week as we transition into online learning. With our school, we've been doing packets. Now we're going into online. So we're going to take next week off. And then we'll be back the week of April 20th, all week, every day, Monday through Friday. Again, at 4 o'clock Central Time is when we'll be doing these. And that week, we'll be back to kind of lunch or dinner. You could do either one. So we want to bring that back. So we will have done a total of 20 lessons here with the kids' cooking lessons and school cancellation. And my hope is that you'll continue to work through the other lessons that we have so that your kids can learn these valuable life skills and cooking skills and making it work for you while you're home and giving yourself a break with all the cooking that needs to happen that we are home. So you guys have a great weekend. Have a blessed Easter. And we will see you again Monday the 20th at 4 p.m. Central Time. Austin, you want to come say bye? Come wave.
Yay!
See y'all soon.